In 7.8a, we're going to factor trinomials that are ax squared plus bx plus c, meaning there's a coefficient on the x squared. So for example, down here, it says 5x squared, whereas in the past, they've all just been x squared. Okay, we're going to use the box method to factor it, but before we do it using the box method, I'm going to remind you how to multiply using the box method. If you recall, we did 3x plus 4 times 2x plus 7, so on one side, and we put the 3x plus 4. On the other side, we put the 2x plus 10, and then to fill in the blanks, we multiply. So 2x times 3x is 6x to the second. 2x times 4 is positive 8x. 10 times 3x is positive 30x. And then 10 times 4 is positive 40. And then we put our answer as 6x to the second plus 38x plus 40. Now when we factor, remember, we start with this is our problem and we're trying to put it back in the parentheses. So we want to look and see what's related so we can figure out what goes where. Okay, now I'm going to try to figure out this and this. So let me look at this situation here and see what goes where. Well, I see the 6x to the second goes up here in this box. I see the 40 goes in this box. Okay, so the main thing is going to be to figure out what goes in this box, and then use that to figure out what goes on the outside. So let's go ahead and look at the first one, and then we'll figure out what goes in the other boxes. Okay, now I know from the past problem that this thing is going to go in this box. I know that this is going to go in this box, and then I'm not sure about the other two boxes. Though there is a pattern that's going to help us figure this out. Okay, I'm going to multiply a times c. This is a, and this is c. So if I do this times this, I get 5 times 4. I'm just multiplying the coefficients. Okay, now, they equal to 20. Just like before, we're going to list the factors of 20, and then we're going to check and see which ones add up to the middle term, and that's going to help us figure out what goes here and here. Okay, so for 20, I could do 5 times 4. I could do 2 times 10. I could do 20 times 1, and if you forget your factors, check your factor list. Okay, now they do have to add up to 12. So 5 plus 4 is 9, 2 plus 10 is 12, so it must be 2 and 10. Now before that told us the answers. This time it's only going to tell us what goes in this box, and if you recall from above, this one has to have an x, and this one also has to have an x. So I'm going to go back. Okay, one of these boxes has to have a positive 2x, and one has to have a positive 10x, and it doesn't matter which one goes where. So let's try it like this for now. Okay, now I filled in the boxes. My goal is actually to figure out the factors that go here and here. So now we're kind of going to work backwards and deduce what was where for this to work. Okay, now you can start along this row, or you could start on this column. I'm going to start on this row, and I'm going to take out the common factor. Okay, between 5x squared and 10x, a common factor is 5, but then they also both have x's, so I'm going to do 5x. Now I'm going to use this 5x to figure out the other answers. Okay, now if I know this is 5x, then I can think 5x times something had to give me 5x to the second. Okay, well this must be x then, because 5x times x is 5x to the second. Okay, now I know 5x times something gave me 10x. So this must be a positive 2. Okay, I'm going to keep going to figure out the missing things. Okay, let's see. What goes here? I know that this times this gave me positive 2x. So if this is x, this must be a positive 2. Okay, now I'm going to, I have all the information I need, but I'm going to check just to make sure I got it right. If I do 2 times 2, I do get 4. So I think I got it right. So now the two factors are this one, and it doesn't matter which one I put first. Okay, and now I factored it. This is factored. Let's go ahead and try the next one now that we've gotten the hang of it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one and this one in their correct boxes. So 2x to the second, positive 5. Okay, now I want to figure out how to break up this 7x. So I'm going to multiply this times this, and then think of the factors of 2 times 5 is 10. 5 times 2, 10 times 1. But remember, they have to add up to 7. So 5 plus 2 is 7. But because I want to make this add up to 7x and I'm putting it in the boxes, I'm going to put 5x and 2x in the boxes. And it does not matter which one goes where. Positive 5x, positive 2x. Our final answer will be the same no matter how I set it up. Okay, now I need to figure out what goes here on each side. Okay, now I'm going to start on the first row, and I'm going to take out a common factor. There will always be a common factor. Let's see, 2 and 5. I could take out a 1, but a 1 is normally not that useful. Okay, x squared, x. They both have an x, so I'm going to take out an x. Okay, once I take out the x, I'm going to figure out what goes in each other spot, and hopefully I'll be able to figure everything out from here. Okay, so if this is x, what do I times x by? So it equals 2x to the second. Now this must have been 2x. Okay, now to get 5x, that was x times 5, or positive 5. See, to get this one, that was 2x times 1. And then let me just check that this is correct. 1 times 5 is 5. So it does work, so I'm thinking it's correct. Okay, I'm going to write my two factors, and it doesn't matter which one goes first, because when you multiply, you could do 5 times 3 or 3 times 5, and they both equal 15. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the next ones. We're just going to mess with the sign a little bit. I'm going to start out, though, just put the first term and the last term, the a term and the c term. Okay, let me think about how to split up that negative 8x. Let's see, 3 times 5 is 15. So it could be 5 and 3. It could be 15 times 1. It has to add up to negative 8. 5 plus 3 is 8, but I want it to be negative 8, so it must be negative and negative. And because I'm putting them in the x boxes, I'm going to put negative on each of them. So negative 5x, negative 3x. Or you could do it the other way. If you do it the other way, it looks a little different, but the answer is the same. Okay, now let me figure out what goes out here. Between 3x to the second and 3x, they both multiply by 3x. Okay, if this is 3x, this must be x, because 3x times x gives me 3x to the second. Okay, if this is negative 3x, 3x times negative 1 gives me negative 3x. This is x. This must be negative 5, because negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then to check, negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. So it's looking like it was correct. If the last one doesn't work, then I've made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Okay, first term, the a term, and the c term. Okay, 10 times 3 is 30. And I wanted to add up to negative 17. So 5 times 6 is 11. That's no. 10 times 3, 13. 15 times 2. Okay, 15 plus 2 is 17. But this is a negative 17, so negative, negative. Remember, order doesn't matter as long as you have both of the terms. Okay, I like to start on the first row, although you could do it this way. Okay, between 10x squared and negative 15x, I can take out a 5, and I can also take out an x. Okay, to get 10x to the second, 5x times 2x. To get negative 15x, that's got to be 5x times negative 3. To get this, 2x times negative 1. And then to check, negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. Okay, last two, and I'm just changing the signs to make sure we've tried it each way. So I'm going to go ahead and put my first term and my last term. Okay, let me multiply a times c. 3 times I get negative 21. So I'm going to have a positive and a negative here, which means the two factors are going to subtract. Let's see, what do they have to add up to? Negative 4. So let's see, if I do 7 times 3, I'm going to give the bigger number the negative to try it. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Negative 7 plus 3, oh, that is negative 4x. So I got it on the first guess. Remember, they're going in the x spot, so it's going to be negative 7x, positive 3x. And you could do it in the other order if you want. Okay, let me check this first row. 3 and 7, there's no number I can take out, but x squared and an x, I can take out an x. If this is x, this must be 3x. If this is x, this must be minus 7. Okay, if this is 3x, 3x times 1, or positive 1. Okay, and then to check, 1 times negative 7 is negative 7, so I think I have it. Okay, one more. I'm going to go ahead and put the first term And the last term in the boxes. Okay, 6 times negative 5 is negative 30, so it's going to be a positive and a negative. Because the middle term is a positive 7, the bigger number is going to take the positive. So let's see, if I do positive 6, negative 6 minus 5 is 1. No. Positive 10, negative 3. 10 minus 3 is positive 7. There we go. So it's a positive 10x and a negative 3x. And again, it could switch. Doesn't matter. Our answer will be the same. Okay, 6 and 10, I could take out 2. X squared and x, I can take out an x. Okay, if this is 2x, this must be times 3x. If this is 10x, that's 2x times positive 5. This is negative 3x, so that's 3x times negative 1. Okay, and then to check, if I do negative 1 times positive 5, I get negative 5, so it looks like it's correct. Okay, go ahead and try the practice problems. When you're done, check the answers that are posted on the calendar, and remember the order of the factors could be the opposite, and it's an equivalent answer.